Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Tanveer Ahmed from Silchar Medical College, Assam. So today I'm going to present an interesting case of retinitis pigmentosa in a suspected case of Lawrence-Moon-Biddle syndrome. So a 15-year-old male child came with the chief complaint of dimness of vision since his childhood with his mother, and there was complaint of low intelligence from the mother. So, amongst the history of present illness, the mother complained that the boy had dimness of vision since his childhood, and which was more in a dim environment or mostly in the evening hour. The mother also complained that her son was not as sharp as those of his own age. There were no history. There was no history of pain, redness, photophobia, watering, discharge, etc. History of present illness, the mother also complained of her son that he has got some extra fingers in all the 4 limbs. History of past illness, there was no suggestive history of seizure, etc. and other conditions. In the personal history, the diet is of normal and the other things are within normal range. Family history, he has got 2 sisters, and one of them has got retinitis pigmentosa, which has been diagnosed in a tertiary care center. So, birth history, he has also got a NICU admission history, though the documentations were not present. Among immunization and drug allergy addiction history were normal. In the general examination, the significant findings were obesity, hexadectally of post-axial type in all the 4 limbs. Then in the systemic examination, the mental status was borderline as diagnosed by the psychiatry department. There was a genital system, there was a small penis with undescended testis on the left side. Amongst the ocular examination, visual acuity was of hand movement, which was also not very sure because patient was not responding properly. There was RP changes in the fundus with mild attenuation of vessels and pale optic disc in both the sides. This is the picture. OD and OS, we can see arterial attenuation, pale disc, and few of the bony spicules in the mid-periphery. Then in the investigations, MRI was advised, CT brain showed no ICSL, post-axial hexadectally on X-ray, then USG whole abdomen, and other findings were normal. Then in the management and discussion, we can have genetic engineering and CRISPR, which are a rare fruit in case of cases like Moon-Biddle syndrome. We gave actually BCVA to this patient and some antioxidants and referred him to a higher center. We can give nanometer controlled sunglasses for blocking particular wavelength. Indoor glasses can be given for contrast this one. And the take-home message is that let us not be blind while sitting in the IOPD for a meticulous history, detailed examination of general and body features, and a collaboration with friends from other department may change the diagnosis to a syndrome. So, with those findings of low IQ, hypogonadism, then hexadectily or polydactyly, and this one, retinitis pigmentosa, we should suspect always a case of LMBB syndrome. Thank you so much.
So I think this is a good case. The only point that I want to make is in a child with a rapidly progressive decrease in vision because of features which are suggestive of RP. The other important differential that you should have is an NCL, that is neuronal ceroid lipofuscinosis. And again, obviously genetic testing is the... Yeah, exactly. But a very simple test as a peripheral smear can rule that out, because 100% of patients of NCL will have vacuolated lymphocytes in their peripheral smear.
Okay.
So that is a very simple test that you can do just to rule out NCL in these patients.
Sure.
Why I'm saying this is because juvenile NCL, that is Patton's disease, they will have RP first and they develop their CNS symptoms late. So it is the ocular presentation that happens first. So that is an important differential that you should have.
We have got this patient. The follow-up is still there. I'll definitely be on.
The systemic features of this patient are more towards
LMBB.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, that was a nice presentation. But a few more points I wanted to say here is that vitamin A, high-dose vitamin A in retinitis pigmentosa, is it recommended?
But some people do give the trial. I am not very convinced about that.
Actually, there are 2 schools of thoughts, ma'am. There are in favor of study also, opposite to that also. So it's like, we haven't given, we only prescribed, we give the BCBA, and then some antioxidant, again there are two schools of thought, whether it improves or not. Then BCBA performed. Then this particular patient was actually under PMJY scheme. So the good thing is that we could have gone for this MRI and hi-fi investigations. In the family history, I said that his father is just a vegetable vendor. So under PMJY, we have gone for the MRI and other investigations.
You have
That's why
done a
actually,
CT, you have not done an MRI, I guess.
yeah, we have advised, but they did not go for that.
Yeah,
But
I
we
would
did
like
have.
to, since you are from Assam, I would like to
Yes, ma'am.
propose something to you that I myself am from Sri Shankardevan
Yes, ma'am.
Netralaya and we are running a genetic clinic. So you can refer your case to us and we can get it done in a academic basis.
Sure,
We can
ma'am.
get
Thank
it
you so
done
much
for
for
free.
that.
One quick question, did the patient have nystagmus?
No, no.
Because these patients, that short people with that
Obesity, central
and
obesity,
all,
yeah.
sometimes we have a patient who actually has a short thoracic rib dysplasia rather than Lawrence Moon
Okay.
body beetle. Thank you, that was
Okay.
nice.
Thank you so much, ma'am.